The February Madden 23 title update is finally here. As I predicted last week, I said it should be coming out this week. It's usually first or second week of the month, and here we are. Now, this is probably the second to last game update of the year, so it is a pretty important one because they're about to completely switch gears completely to Madden 24, and we're not going to be getting many more updates for this game going forward. However, we're going to start getting a lot of Madden 24 news really soon, and some leaks maybe even sooner than that. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those important news videos to know what's coming next year, or any of the news surrounding the upcoming NFL 2K game that should finally be dropping later this year, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you don't miss those videos when they drop. Now, EA said during the year and even before this year kicked off that they wanted to do more game balancing, more meta updates, and we're getting a little bit of that with this update, but not nearly as much as I thought we would get. Normally, these last couple of updates, they do a lot more game balancing, or at least attempt to do game balancing, because the remaining months of the year we're not gonna get updates, so they need to kind of get the game in the most stable state possible, and usually the last couple of updates is when they do that. Now, they did a little bit of it, but like I said, just not nearly enough. But one of the biggest things that they did do was they made modifications to the QB contain logic to mitigate the pass rush exploit known as the loop blitz. Now, they made a few bullet points next to this fix. It says only defenders on the line of scrimmage will be able to be assigned a QB contain. If there is a pass rusher aligned outside of the contained defender, the contained defender will rush the C gap to avoid putting multiple rushers in the same gap. They also added a dev note that said these changes are meant to bring balance to the loop blitz exploit while also offering more authentic rush lanes, specifically by trying to avoid putting multiple rushers in the same gap or getting a contained player inside of an adjacent rusher. We will continue to monitor these changes in the live game and will continue to make tuning adjustments if necessary. So right there, you already know that there's more potential updates coming because if necessary, they're going to make adjustments regardless. Now, this is all very interesting because this is the second version of the loop blitz that we've had in Madden 23. We had the one at the beginning of the year that everybody remembers that was a real pain. They did fix that one rather quickly, and then a few months ago, this new version of the loop blitz kind of became discovered where it would allow the defensive end to kind of walk into the backfield completely free of being blocked. He would just literally have a clear path to the QB, because if you had a linebacker in a QB contain and you had him at a certain angle lined up right outside of the defensive end or the edge rusher, he would take a weird rush angle that would force the offensive tackle to pick him up and let the defensive end kind of loop right around. And that was becoming the meta, and it was the meta for the last 2 months. It was being used a ton in the last Madden tournament that actually ended last night, the Madden Bowl. So it was a good thing that they fixed this. However, in fixing the containment, I've already seen people making some posts on Twitter that now QB contains in general are not quite as good as they were before. So now we're going right back to that same situation where there's no more loop blitzing, which is a good fix, but now QB rollouts are going to be much easier, kind of like they were last year in Madden 22. That was one of the biggest things they fixed coming into this year, was they actually made contain the quarterback. Now, don't get me wrong, QB rolling out won't be nearly as bad as it was last year or some of the years before, simply because number one, escape artist is no longer a regular ability. That made rolling out so much more powerful. They also have reduced the accuracy of throwing on the run outside of the pocket, which is another thing that made rolling out so powerful. But you're going to be able to get outside the pocket a lot easier now because of these adjustments they made to contains. And this is a tale as old as time with QB contains in Madden. Either they're glitchy and they cause these weird blitz angles, and they also do a decent job at containing the QB, or they have to completely make them useless so that they can't be used in a glitchy way to create these unblockable blitzes, but now they also don't defend the rollout. It's just one of those things they've seemed to never be able to fully get right for an entire year of Madden, because they're going to be bad one way or the other. They're either going to be bad by creating these exploitable blitzes, or they're going to be bad in the fact that they're not good enough at all to even stop scrambling QBs, which is the biggest reason for a contain. So we're kind of getting back to that situation, so we'll see how that plays out. They also had a few other gameplay changes here. They fixed an issue causing the ball to appear in the wrong hand during the Stephon Diggs signature touchdown celebration. They also addressed an issue causing the wide receiver's route to change from a streak to a goal line fade after sending the receiver in motion. That was another little bit of an exploit that was starting to catch on. And of course, they also made general stability improvements, and we still never really know what that means. We just kind of take their word for it, but the game has not been very stable most of the year, so I don't know if they've been working that well, but it seems like the game is actually pretty stable right now, finally. Franchise mode and in the game modes and stuff like that, but it took a long road to kind of get there this year. We've also got some face of the franchise updates. They fixed an issue showing the incorrect number of remaining drills in the Flood Pass concept side activity. They fixed an issue showing the teams reversed in the stats/ranks widget on the League Hub. They fixed several instances of improper scaling on some 4K TVs. They also fixed a rare instance that could cause a non-QB position save file to revert randomly, switching to the QB position during a career. I definitely did hear about this one for some time now. Surprised it took them this long to get this one fixed. They added a dev note to this that says, this fix is intended to prevent a random position change for active and newly created careers after the update. It will not update save files that have already been impacted, because doing so could wipe out an active career in the original position save slot. We will continue to monitor the issue in the live game and look to address any other instances that may occur. So kind of just another franchise mode issue, even though it's not the regular franchise mode, it is the career face of the franchise, but another one of those things where something random's happening, and if it happened to you, it sounds like you probably have to just kind of start over. So definitely not another good thing on the list of Madden 23. They also made some fixes to Madden Ultimate Team. They fixed several instances of improper scaling on some 4K TVs. So this was for both franchise and Ultimate Team. This was an issue apparently. They remedied an issue where kicker active abilities would deactivate during halftime adjustments, which was a super huge issue. That is a good one that they finally got fixed. They fixed the sets filtering on the new item screen. They fixed an issue where user skill based passing settings would reset after entering a MUT squads or co-op game. That is another annoying glitch that they finally fixed. And they fixed an issue where users were not able to refresh when entering featured opponent in solo battles. The Black History promo also kicked off today in Ultimate Team. This is something they've been doing over the past couple years, which is really cool. So if you are in Ultimate Team, definitely be sure to check that out. We also got some new exclusive gear for the yard. Now, I don't really know how many people still play this mode. I feel like it got some good action in Madden 21 when it debuted. I definitely played it a good bit that year. Haven't touched it since. They haven't really done much with it. It's kind of similar to Superstar KO. They were two modes that were very fun in theory and even fun in the game at first, but they've just really not built on them, which is disappointing, especially Superstar KO, because I feel like that mode had a ton of potential. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. They added some new gear, some Hit Boy exclusive gear to the yard. So if you do still play it, there is some new gear to go get. If you are somebody that's playing the mode, that's probably one of the things that would interest you about the mode, is constantly changing up the gear and the look of your player. So that is there, but I just find it hard to believe that a lot of people would still be playing this mode at this point, because it just hasn't really gotten enough upgrades in my opinion. Now, surprisingly, we did not get any playbook updates. We did not get any player likeness updates or equipment updates. This is the first update all year where none of those things have been a part of the update. At least one of those things has been in pretty much every update, and usually with the last couple of updates of the year, they do put those things in there. We also did not get any Superstar or X Factor updates, which I think that will probably be in the last update of the year, which will probably be March, potentially April. Sometimes they do go as far as April, but I don't really think they're going to do that this year. March, they will probably do for sure the final X Factor update as the season will officially be over. They'll probably put some more playbooks and player likeness and hopefully some equipment updates in there, because I know a lot of you have been waiting on certain types of equipment, especially some of the helmets that still aren't in the game. But yeah, this update was a bit smaller than I thought it would be, I'll be honest, but the March one will probably hopefully be bigger and have some more stuff. But even though this one was small, there were a few key things, especially with the loot blitz, that were fixed, which is really important. Now, if you haven't heard about some of the early Madden 24 news, check out this video right here on the screen.